Hi, this is David Gonzalez, and today I want to take you on a video tour of the vintage Highlands neighborhood in Rancho Cucamonga, California. Where I'm at right now, I just got off the 210 freeway, so either you're coming from east or west, you can just head north on Milligan, which is where I'm on right now, and I just got stopped by a light. But anyways, as we go up Milligan, you can see the mountains straight ahead of us. That's one thing that I think a lot of us take for granted who live here, is the beautiful mountain views that we have during the year. And especially during the winter months, you will see the snow-capped mountains, and at times we'll even get hail down here. So that's another bonus of living so close to the mountains and the foothills of the mountains, is that we'll eventually, sometimes we do get snow. So I'm going to be making a right here on a street called Vintage. And as you can see, we've approached the Vintage Highlands sign, and I'm going to make a right to go into the Vintage Highlands neighborhood. So to my left, what I like to do is just call it North Vintage Highlands, and then to my right is going to be called South Vintage Highlands. So what I'm going to do is take you on a tour really quick of one of the loops. Now keep in mind, there's going to be 4 of these loops that will comprise Vintage Highlands, and each one of these loops is going to take you in a circle. The first street we have here is called Mount Wallace, and what I want to point out, something that's so unique to Vintage Highlands, and it's why I love this place, especially for a young family who might have kids, is that each one of these streets, I'm going to roll down my window, each one of these streets is a cul-de-sac. So whether you're on the right side of the street, left side of the street, for instance here on Mount Johnson, it's all going to be a cul-de-sac. So if you do have little kids, you don't have to worry that much about traffic. And even if you don't have kids, I mean, it really is a nice thing to be on a cul-de-sac, just so you don't have all that traffic coming in and out of your street, especially unwanted traffic. So we are now at the north part of the loop, and we are going to just keep taking this until it takes us back to Vintage. The other nice thing about this area is that there's really gonna be 3 ways in and out of here. The one we just came in through, and then there's another exit that I just passed up that you can make a left and get out of the community, or we can exit down to where the stop sign is at. The other unique thing about this community is that all the streets, they are named after mountains. So we just passed Mount Wallace. You can have Santiago Peak, Mount Whitney. So it's pretty easy to remember. We've got to our left Karen Elementary School. Let me see if I can get a good shot of the elementary school. But what I'll do is I'm going to take you around another loop. This is the second loop of 4. We've got 2 loops on the north, and then we've got 2 loops on the south, and they are identical. So we've got Karen Elementary here to the left. And the nice part about this spot in particular is that every year the city of Rancho Cucamonga and the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, they have a Christmas parade, and it's called the Ho-Ho Parade, and it comes through this neighborhood, and one of the stops is right here on Karen Elementary. So during the holidays, all the neighbors get together and set up shop right there. This is Mount Baker Street. I actually sold a home here off Mount Baker. Some good memories of that one. And as you can see, we are just going to go and make another loop. Just like that first loop that we drove through earlier. Same identical type loop that'll take you through this neighborhood here. And I don't know if you guys can see it, but just behind these homes, there's Los Osos High School. So if you have a high school teenager, they can probably walk to high school. And we are now coming down and finishing up this loop. The other nice part about it too is that, you know, if you have kids close enough to the school, which a lot of these homes are real close, they can also walk to school. You can walk them, of course. This street is called White Mountain, and I sold that home right there in the corner, a single story. And coming up here is Mount Wilson. I sold another single story here a few years back. I think it's like the 7th or 8th home on your right hand side. And now we are going to be back on Vintage. So what I'm going to do is make a left and just go down Vintage, and we will now be going straight down to Rochester. So Vintage Highlands is, the boundaries would be Milliken, where we just came off the freeway from, and then Rochester, and this is where it'll end. And the north boundary will be Banyan, and the south boundary is the 210 freeway. So that's Vintage Highlands for you, and if you have any questions that I can answer, please give me a call or email me.